Alright, today we're going to make the perfect apple pie. Okay, so you're going to need 1 egg in a measuring cup. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of vinegar. You're going to need 1 pound of this, pure lard. Then you're going to need a little bit of bacon fat, rendered. 6 cups of flour. 3 teaspoons of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. You put your baking powder in there. You put your 3 teaspoons of salt in there. Then you're going to put your lard. First, you want to mix that up a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to put in our lard. Oops, that was a blooper. You want to break all that up in there. Mix it all up real good. Okay. Now, I'm having a little difficulty. We're going to put a little bit of bacon fat in there. I put a little bacon fat in there to give it that old school flavor. You know, when we were kids, they used rendered pork fat, and some of that was smoked sometimes. They put it right in the pie. You know, that's what we're used to back then, is that old-fashioned flavor. So don't be scared to put a little bit of that rendered bacon fat in there. Never throw that stuff out. It's precious. Okay, so next thing, we're going to pour our vinegar in the egg, and we're going to put a little bit of water in it. And we're going to fill this cup with cold water. You're going to mix that up here. That. And you're just going to pour this in here. And mix it all up again. All right. Now we got that flour all mixed up. There's our pie dough. Now we're going to do a few Cortlands. Different apples you could use. I don't suggest to use anything but the Cortland to make probably the best apple pie, you know. The thing about the Cortland is it's already sweet and it cooks just right to make that texture you want into your apple pie. It's a matter of, you know, what you like most, but to me the Cortland is the apple to use, right? So let's go get our apples ready. Get yourself maybe 7 or 8 apples. We're going to make a pretty big pie. Alright, so now I've got about 6 large Cortlands in there. They're pretty sweet, so you don't want to put too much sugar in there. I put about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Okay, so here goes my 3/4 of a cup of sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of allspice. You got to mix that all together. We'll be using this pie plate. I might have a little extra filling left. I might have to do a little putina through there, but we'll see how that goes. Now, there's a couple other things I like to put in my apple filling. Now, watch this. Now, we're going to have to put a little flour in the filling. So this is a heaping one of these. Let's see. You're going to need almost 1/4 cup. So I need 2 of these. 2 of these like this, to thicken this up a little bit for you, okay? I don't put salt in the filling, and I don't put margarine, no margarine. This is real butter, okay? And I'm putting 4 or 5 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, you know. Butter, yes, put la margarine. Don't put margarine. You're making the best pie. Put butter, okay? And be a little generous on the butter. I mean, either that or just don't eat pie. If you're going to make a pie, do it right, or just freaking stay home. That's what I figure. I told you you're making the best pie here. So don't try to change what I'm doing. Let's mix this up. All right. And now, we're going to put a little egg wash on the rim. Believe it or not, I fit all these apples in there. So we'll put the top on and we'll keep going. Now we got the top on there. We're going to put some vent holes. You see how I pushed that real tight. I pushed the apples tight in there. It's important to put a few vent holes in there like this. So we're going to put some vent holes. It's so this should work. And we're going to make the oven heat up at about 450, 425, let's say right now, for a half an hour. And to think about it, we're saying 425, 30 minutes, and then we're going to reduce the heat to 350, and we're going to bring it right into that hour. Okay? Watching the crust all the time, because you don't want your crust to get too dark, and I did egg it quite a bit. So let's see what happens. Let's throw it in the oven now. There's that pie. Oh boy. Yes, the apple pie. She's a beauty. We're going to be having that with a little bit of ice cream. A little bit later on. We got to let it cool off. Apple pie for dessert tonight. Well, so we'll see how it works out. To cut a piece. We'll cook this all. A flaky pie crust. Gosh. Super flaky. Nice.